Hey, at-home peeps. Since Miss Funling isn't here today and she's talking to the people who are in class for like the first 25 minutes, I thought it would be easier to make a screencast to kind of walk you through what you're going to be working on in this first half of the class. So, like I said, the first, I want to say 25 minutes will pretty much be independent work until we can come together when Miss Funling is finished. So let's take a look here at this hyperdoc. You're going to pull up, it's in Google Classroom, a hyperdoc called AF1, and that stands for Animal Farm 1. So again, we're going to continue to work off hyperdocs through Animal Farm. This one is worth 100 points because there's a little bit more work on it, and that's because we are preparing ourselves to read a whole class novel. So we had a little bit more that we needed to do this week. This is due on Friday, April 16th, so make sure you don't forget to turn it in. And as a reminder, we talked last week a little about the late policy in terms of 10% off per day with a maximum of 50% off. So you will want to get this turned in by Friday at midnight. And for that reason, let's use our class time wisely. So let's get started. Let's first review the April calendar. Oh, sorry, let me go back to this. If you pace yourselves well, this is what you're going to do today. You'll work on steps 1 through 5 during this class. I don't like to give a ton of homework, so my goal is never to give you homework, to be honest. If you're using your hour and a half class time wisely, then you shouldn't have much homework at all. Today, let's pace ourselves by doing steps 1 through 5, and then on Thursday or Friday, let's wrap it up with steps 6 through 7. There are a few more steps at the end, but those are just kind of a reading assignment. Take a look at the April calendar. So again, this is always subject to change, but right now you'll notice that we are in a gold week. Let's take a look here. Okay, so we're in gold week and you're group B. So unfortunately, tomorrow is asynchronous for everyone. There are no freshmen in the building tomorrow because we're testing juniors. They're taking their ACT. So everything is back to asynchronous tomorrow. And I'm sorry you guys got kind of shortchanged on one day this week, but that's okay. So today we're going to read the introduction to Animal Farm. Actually, it's not the introduction, it's the preface. And we're going to complete the first half of Animal Farm 1 hyperdoc. And then in class, hopefully we'll get to it at the end. We're going to go ahead and read that preface together. Later in the week, we are actually going to read aloud. We're going to start on Thursday or Friday by either reading chapter 1 out loud or the preface, depending on how far we get in class today. So again, this calendar is always subject to change. We're moving about 160 freshmen through this book. So, all right, let's go back to this hyperdoc. So while we wait for Miss Funling to do her thing in class, I want you to notice that last week, this was actually on last week's hyperdoc, you were supposed to click on your hour, let's just say hour 3, and populate, or I should say replace, one of the emojis with a picture of you, which a lot of you did, some did not. Okay, you're gonna pick whichever emoji, let's just say it's this one. Right click, replace the image, camera. My camera's already taken, so my camera won't pop up because I'm recording this video for you, but yours will. Take a picture, okay? And then it will replace that emoji with a picture of you. Next step. I want you to think about some type of a article you've read or something you watched on YouTube or something you listened to, and you're going to hyperlink it here so that at the end of the week we can randomly pick 2 or 3 of them and discuss them as a class. So we can get into some analysis of the things that you all like. If you need further directions, go ahead and click here. Some of you already did it, so I'm not going to dwell too much on that. That's definitely something you could spend the next 10 minutes working on while we wait for Miss Funling. Let's move on down. You were supposed to have read Harrison Bergeron last week. Most of you did it in a small group. This was a short story about equality. Do we truly live in an equal society? Do we want to live in an equal society? And today's class lesson is over dystopian literature. Animal Farm is a dystopia. Definitely Harrison Bergeron is a dystopia. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But you should have read Harrison Bergeron. And now I want you to take about 10 minutes. See, it says write for 10 minutes to answer this question. If you lived in the dystopian society in which George Hazel and Harrison Bergeron live, what handicaps would you have to wear to attain true equality? Basically, that's asking, what are you super good at? If you are a really good athlete, you would have to wear the handicap of like bags with weights on them so that you would not be as fast or not be as strong. Now, would that be true equality? Is true equality possible? And should we seek a society in which all are equal? Do we even really want that? We think we do. It sounds really nice to say, oh, we're all equal. But when you really think about it, we're not. Some people are more athletic than me. I know you can't believe that. It's hard to believe. But some people are maybe, by society standards, I guess, more attractive. I don't even know what that means, but maybe some people have a natural intelligence in science or math that other people really struggle with. So are we truly equal? And should we even really want that? I want you to write for 10 minutes responding. After you do that, I'm going to let you guys skip number 3 because we'll do that together as a class. There's a little slideshow I want to go over, so let's skip 3. But if you want to get started on the Animal Farm pre-reading while, again, you wait for Miss Funling, this would be a really great use of your time so you don't have any homework. So before we read Animal Farm, it's important that you understand what an allegory is. What is a satire? Who is George Orwell? You can click on this article and it will take you to some information about Orwell. What is socialism? What is communism? We have to understand those types of governments because Animal Farm is not about a bunch of animals on a farm. That's just the vessel through which Orwell gave some political commentary on types of government. So we have to understand those types of government before we move on. And so I'm going to let you guys kind of just work as far as you want to through this hyperdoc at home while we wait, while you're kind of in that waiting space. But go ahead and skip number 3 because we will do number 3 together. And you might even get out of here early today, guys. We'll see. All right, I will check in about 15 minutes.